Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Badass Banking, hence the glasses. Today, my participant, is the infamous Bo McDonald. I'm not 100% sure, Bo, who is the CEO of your marketing company. I don't know if his name is really Bo or if he just put that in there to be kind of more badass. Bo, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. Is your first name really Bo? Somewhere did I see John somewhere?
That is not me. So the backstory is when I used to be in radio, you'd move around and you'd never use your real name on the radio. And when I moved to South Carolina, Thomas was too Yankee, as they called it. And they said, you can be Bo or Bubba on the radio station that I had moved to. And I said, Bubba is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So Bo it was. And thankfully, I chose that because it's kind of stuck for the last 20 years.
Yeah. I think that would have been too Yankee. It's kind of like, Karen. That would be way too Yankee too, based on today. By the way, that's my cat in the background. This show is not edited, as you can tell. So tell me about some of the work you're doing right now. And I'm an admirer of what you've been doing. I followed you since I met, Randy Smith years ago. Tell me some of the stuff you're doing right now with your clients.
Yeah, so really we're really diving into the word strategic. It's been important to us, especially the last 2 years, as we try to focus our clients not just on a heap of promotions and fun stuff, but really what are your goals, and diving really into operations too. Like if you're going to spend this money on marketing, that's cool. But if your front line isn't prepared to handle it, if operations is a mess, if it's taking forever to get back, all that money you're spending on marketing is totally wasted. So we're really trying to help our credit union streamline the back end and figure out what makes the member experience not so great. How can we help you fix that so that your marketing dollars are better spent? So we're really taking a big look at all of our credit unions right now and really trying to help them identify what's not working, which isn't really marketing, but I think you probably agree. Everything is marketing, and marketing is everything.
It is. Marketing's the promise, right? It's the promise that strategic leaders put together with their agency partners, like folks like you. And where the rubber hits the road is the experience. So if the experience doesn't meet the promise, it's a promise broken. It's worse than not marketing, to be honest with you. I think Wells Fargo in the past would be a good example of that. Fortunately, they're rebuilding that brand. It'll probably take a decade to do so. I'm assuming a renaming of the company will come along at some point. But yeah, that back office is responsible for so much. You have to operationalize the brand in order to build an experience that's memorable and as friction-free as possible, because it's that friction that makes banking suck so much.
Yeah, and it's really come into play over the last couple of months to figure out how to make the best of some of the crap that they have and what is better out there that we can steer them towards.
Yep. And by the way, we every once in a while we're going to get a couple audio problems. I'll try and edit those out as best I can, like what I'm saying right now, because my editing skills suck, but I'm going to try and do it. I may even leave them in just because it adds a little comic relief to it. So on Twitter the other day, you said something which is endearing to me. You said, build personal relationships to develop brand advocates. Your staff that are willing to ask loyal and happy members to advocate for the credit union will find that advocates can be extremely influential with referring to new members. You want to talk about that a little?
Yeah, it really kind of builds on what we had just talked about. If you have a good member experience, you've got a happy member, someone who says, you make it so easy for me to do business. And they're probably not even thinking this. They're not overjoyed about it. It's just kind of their expectation that, wow, you make this easy for me.
Yeah, another thing that community bankers, and I include credit union folks in that as well, they have a bad case of saying, we want to be your customer or member advocate, yet then they don't demonstrate that advocacy. Slapping up a credit counseling service on the website, or a photo of a happy a retired couple walking down a beach, planning their retirement or hoping to plan their retirement. That's not advocacy. It's the programs and products and actions that shape that advocacy in the mind, and it's not advocacy in the mind of the executive team that matters, it's advocacy in the mind of the member in this case that matters. Are there any credit unions or banks or even non-financial brands that you think do a really good job with advocacy?
There is one that I will not name, and I shared this in a post on CU Insight this week. I was totally devastated. We did our third Friday project. Every third Friday of the month, we kind of pause in the afternoon, and we did something totally different this last month. And we pulled 3 credit unions that were really kind of jealous of their marketing. Like, they look really good. We want our clients to be like them when we grow up. And we started digging into one of the 3. And we were so excited because they've got a good looking brand. They're very personable. They put out a lot of content. And then we said, step 2, let's interact with this brand and let's, see how they interact with us and pull that off. And it was totally not what we expected. Social media messages weren't returned.
Ooh.
They were on hold for a long time, never really got to speak to anyone. Membership applications were not responded to. And that's when it kind of hit us that, holy crap, how they have spent probably millions on this brand.
So yeah, no, I see that all the time. I see brands that build this veneer and then don't follow through in the execution. And I think it's good that you're showing it. And that's probably a good example for you to share with your clients, right? It's like, I think it's important that not only we tell clients what they should do, tell them what they shouldn't do. Marketing is lipstick on a pig unless there's an execution behind it that really defends that marketing strategy. And ultimately that strategy is defined
Absolutely.
Successfully by the or it fails actually by the customer. So you don't want to name them. I'll tell you what, I'll do some research on that CU Insight. I'm sure Randy won't mind us like popping around the website digging in.
Yeah,
I'll put a link to it in the comments down below. So what are some of the things that you think can make, other than kind of experience, what are some of the things that can make credit unions more badass in the mindset of the member or consumer or prospective member?
I think going beyond saying that you're a credit union, a lot of people like to hide behind that credit union moniker. We're for the people, but they don't act on it.
Yeah.
Maple Federal Credit Union down in Lafayette, Louisiana, Pamela Stelly is one who she doesn't have to say she's a credit union. They do.
Yeah.
But she acts on it. We were on a call with her last week, and she gave an example of a member that was coming through the drive-through, and she happened to just see that they got a new car. And she said, "You didn't finance that with us. Let's see if we can save you a few bucks." Well, lo and behold, the dealer got them into a loan that they should not have been in for their credit score. And Pamela was able to drop their monthly payment by about $120, I think.
Wow.
And this is someone who's making $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
So
that's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. And that's where the advocacy comes in. That's a big deal for that member. You don't think they're going to go out and tell their friends and family about it. And of course, from the marketing perspective, we want to gather that story so that we can share that too. But she's one of those brands that really, she doesn't have to say she's a credit union that they do good things. They just do it, and they let their actions speak for themselves.
Yep. No, I love that. I mean, it's bringing advocacy to life again. That's what it's all about. So today I know you've got an office in New Orleans, right? So what drove you toward New Orleans? And I will say today for all the viewers, you're in South Carolina today. So what drove you to New Orleans? I
love it down there. I went for the first time over Labor Day weekend in 2004. And if you've been to New Orleans over Labor Day, you know that it's a one big party, which I guess is pretty much every weekend in New Orleans. But Labor Day is something special down there. And I said, this is just so cool because there's every person of every race, of every background, of every sexual orientation. They're just out partying together. No one is, up against each other. And the more time I started spending there, I love food, I love music, I love art. I just love funkiness in general. I love experiences. And New Orleans has all of that. So over the years, I've just spent more time down there. And 3 years ago, I just got a wild hair and ended up buying a house down there.
Yeah, I like it too. I think, and I think you nailed it. There's a sense of community down there that is remarkably unique,
Yes.
and it's not tied to politics.
Nope.
It is in the DNA of the people in that community, both the good and the bad. But there's just so much good there, and it's fun to see all the people kind of getting along together.
Definitely.
Maybe it takes a little shared alcohol in order to do that. I'm not really sure. So what are some of the things that have changed due to COVID? Obviously, in the obvious that you're not in New Orleans as much.
The I spent a lot of time down there in first quarter before COVID hit, and the goal was we wanted to explore remote work for our team. And I figured the best way for us to figure out what's working and what's not is for me to actually do it.
Right.
So I spent a good bit of time down there, and I realized here's some of our shortcomings, some IT issues, some communication things, processes we needed to shore up, and we're finally starting to do that. And lo and behold, when we started talking about it at the beginning of the year, we had no idea what was coming. So on March 16th, we weren't just talking about it; we did it for a good 2 months. So that's one of the things. I wish I could spend more time down there. But there's just something about being around the team, the collaboration that we have that, I can go down there and get away for a few days, work on strategy, but it's really cool to be back here in the office and spend that time with the team.
I know for the strategy core clients that we had, that the feedback I've gotten from them is they've taken this time to focus on efficiency. And I know some of the community bankers out there, aside from the triage that they've been doing and all the hard work they've done with the PPP loans, they're looking internally at looking at efficiencies too. Yeah, I'm hearing about banks and credit unions that are looking at delivery. Obviously, mobile's huge and it will remain huge. It'll probably have remarkable increases in investment, but they're also looking at how do they change that physical presence? What does physical presence mean? I personally think this is a very exciting time for the banking community. And again, that includes credit unions. And I look forward to some really exciting developments coming up in the next 6 to 12 months, I think. Listen, Bo, it's been fantastic talking with you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post your connection info, a link to your marketing company, not my marketing company, not their marketing company.
It's your marketing company.
Your marketing company, right? I'll put that in there, plus all your social media links so people can get a hold of you. For those out watching, please like, subscribe, dislike, comment. It is all about engagement. That is what I am all about, engagement. And I appreciate you being on there today. Bo, great talking to you. Great getting to hear all the neat things you're doing.
Thanks for the invite.